Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams, Maxx Crosby to Baltimore, and where does Kyler Murray end up? What's up, everyone? I'm DJ Hamilton, and welcome to DJ Sports Show, the place where we discuss sports, share bold opinions, and untold stories that make a difference. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to hit the like, subscribe button, and share anybody you know who loves sports. And listen on any audio platform we're on, leave a 5-star rating, and share anybody you know. On today's episode, I'm joined by my guys, Nicholas Mullick and Philip Wilson, to discuss some of the biggest moves in the NFL as we approach the NFL offseason this week with free agency. We also discussed Jayson Tatum's return back to the Boston Celtics and the Charlotte Hornets and Buzz City that they've been winning games as of late. It's a very exciting time in sports, a lot going on. So we have it all here for you guys on DJ Sports Show. Without further ado, let's get into the show. I'm here with the fellas Philip Wilson, the Wilson Way Sports Network, and my guy Nicholas Mullick to discuss NFL and then some NBA a little bit at the end with you guys here today. We had some big moves over this past week in the NFL ahead of free agency set to officially begin on March 11th. So we're going to get into a little bit of them today and talk a little bit of NBA with Tatum's return and stuff like that. How are we doing today, fellas?
Doing good, man. Thank you for having me.
Dude, I've missed you. It's been a while since we last recorded. I've missed you guys.
Yeah, I think it's been like 2 weeks.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I don't know. I lost track after 30 seconds, but I I'm only kidding. I'm doing good.
Last week we discussed some NBA. I had to get Matt on the show because he never made his debut yet, and we've known each other for like 2-3 years. I'm like, yo, let me get my young Phil on the show.
Yeah, that was wild.
Some airtime. Matt be knowing his stuff. He's a senior in college right now, or a junior, and he does sports. He recently did a podcast. I said, let me get him on the show. I'm like, yo, Matt, I haven't had you on the show yet. And he started laughing. I was like, yo, you know what? Come on the show, man. Let's talk some hoops. Yeah, get him some love, man. Get him some love on the DJ Sports Show. So I was like, yeah, let me spread the love, man.
Yeah, we got to give you some love, bro, because of what happened with McDuffie.
Oh yeah. That let's get into it right now because I was not happy when I saw that. So the Chiefs traded all-pro defensive back.
Where's the nuke? Where's the nuke emoji? Can you drop that in?
Who's your team though? You say you got upset. Who's your team? You a Chiefs fan or something?
I've been Mahomes fan. I like the Chiefs because Mahomes. That's why I was like bummed when they traded McDuffie. Yeah, when Mahomes blew up his second year, no pun intended, blew up.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But yeah, ever since that year, that got me back into football because I was kind of like mid about football early. But then Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes started getting me back into football. So I've been watching more since. Yeah. Oh, what were you gonna say, Nick?
I was about to say with Kansas City, Mahomes was the real reason why I started liking the Chiefs. I mean, I also kind of respect them a lot more than other teams, other dynasties. And yes, it did get a little toxic once the team got more infatuated with the mop brand, the Swift stuff, the mop brand. That's what I've been told. I mean, I've been told that they've been selling a lot in Kansas City lately with the Swift stuff. It got a little toxic there, but who cares? It's their personal life, whatever. Obviously, I'm joking because the Swift mop is a brand that they sell at stores, but
this guy. But let's give people the details of the trade. So the Chiefs acquired a lot of draft capital, 2026 first round pick, 5th round pick, and 6th round pick, and a 2027 3rd round pick. And Rams get Trent McDuffie, who's all-pro cornerback. He was a big part of why the Chiefs' defense was really incredible over these last few seasons under Spags and his defensive coordinator. To me, he was the second best defensive player for the Chiefs behind Chris Jones over these last couple of years, and then 3 straight runs to the Super Bowl. And it's not the first time that the Chiefs have done this. This is Brian Veach. This is kind of his philosophy. He likes to get young guys, develop them, make them into key defensive guys they could have to help them win, and then eventually move them off before giving them that big contract to save them money off the salary cap. He did it in 2024 with L'Jarius Sneed when they gave him away to the Titans, and the Titans eventually extended him to a 4-year, $76.4 million contract extension. And then they did it back in 2018 during the beginning of the Mahomes dynasty when they moved Marcus Peters to the Rams. So
I was about to mention him. Yeah.
Strategy. Yeah. So this is not the first time he's done it. And we can't really criticize him. Yes, it's a bummer that McDuffie is moved because he was a key part of why our defense was so elite, especially in the secondary. But Veach has proven to be a guy who could build winning teams. He's the one who drafted Patrick Mahomes. So we know he knows what he's doing. I'm going to trust in him. Even though I'm kind of worried about giving up McDuffie, especially for just some draft capital, because we don't know who they're going to draft, how those guys are going to turn out. And it looks like it's a rebuild in the AFC that got better over this past week. We're going to get into other stuff like DJ Moore to Buffalo and Maxx Crosby to the Ravens. AFC got tougher, so it's kind of having me a little bit worried. But I think if they could hit on some of these draft picks, they also cut Jawan Taylor, saved him $20 million off the salary cap, which, thank God, good riddance, because Nicholas is with me. Jawan Taylor, for a false penalties was like, it was a guarantee. There's some things guaranteed in life: taxes, death, and Jawan Taylor getting a couple holding penalties each game. Because
D4 jumping off sides.
False start
off sides too.
Or D4 jumping off sides.
I'm like, come on, guys. I'm like, holding off sides. Like, we can't be having this if we want to be a contending team for a Super Bowl, especially if we want to prolong the Patrick Mahomes prime, because he's still a capable guy who can win more Super Bowl rings. We want to build a great offensive line around him, great receivers around, and a defense that can stop guys. So, yeah, this trade, when I saw it, I was kind of shocked. Oh, what are you going to say?
Yeah. Here's the one thing I want to say with what you said earlier with Brett Veach. Because, look, Brett Veach did help build the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty. Take a look at his last 3 draft classes. This drafting is not good. Like, I got it right here. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to start with the 2023 draft. Drafted Felix Adnuk-Uzama in round 1. Rashee Rice, which that's a good pick.
3-4.
I mean, he's a piece of work, but, good pick.
That's the one. Yeah.
Wanya Morris, Chamari Connors, B.J. Thompson, Condre Colburn, Nick Jones. That's the entire 2023 draft class. Terrible. 2024, Xavier Worthy, who I love, and I think he was worthy of the first round pick, but, he hasn't had such a worthy, first few seasons in the league. He's still a little raw. Kingsley Sunamanta, who hasn't really developed well. Jared Wiley, who stinks, the tight end. Jaden Hicks, Hunter Nozad, Kamal Haddon, CJ Hansen, who 2025 draft.
Oh, man.
2025 draft, Josh Simmons, which we'll see with him because he was injured, and when he was playing, he was okay. Yeah. Omar Norman Lott, who? Ashton Gillett, who? Noel Williams, who? Jalen Royals, who's a receiver and did nothing this year. Jeffrey Bassa, who? And Brashard Smith, who's a developmental player. We'll see with him, but yeah. Besides Worthy and Rice, who are, and maybe Josh Simmons, we'll see about that. His drafting has not been good the past 3 years.
And what hurts too is like it sucks because that 2022 class was like big for them. Yeah, like McDuffie, George Karlaftis, and I forgot who else they drafted in that class.
I mean, Leo Chenal was in that. I got it right here. That was with Leo Chenal in there. Isaiah Pacheco was drafted there. Jalen Watson was drafted there. They wasted a second-round pick on Sky Moore. Remember him?
Oh God,
that was bad. That was a bad pick.
Yeah. That was not good. That was that 2022 class was a lot of defensive guys.
Yeah, they're both.
That kind of sort of reminds me of what
3 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, sort of reminds me a lot of this year's draft class, which is more of a defensive draft class. I'm actually going to pull up the guys who the Chiefs passed on for Sky Moore, by the way.
Yeah, please let me know. Cause I'm like,
what? Oh, there he is. That. So you want to know who was drafted with the next pick?
Yeah, who's that?
Trey McBride of the Arizona Cardinals.
Dang.
You want to know?
Chelsea's, they were going to get him. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the other guys they picked the other guys they picked at that time, even though they had another second-round pick in Brian Cook, Luke Goddick, Troy Anderson, Ed Ingram, Cam Taylor-Britt, who I'd prefer over Sky Moore, obviously, Drake Jackson on the Niners. Here's the other 2 guys who were drafted after the Brian Cook pick, by the way. You know who they are?
Nah, who's up?
I'll give you a hint. One is a phenomenal defensive player in Denver, and the other is a piece in Buffalo.
Patrick Surtain.
Oh, no, it ain't Sertan, is it? I'm gonna say no, ain't no way. Defensive line like John Franklin Myers.
Nope.
Who else? I'm thinking it's not Benito, is it?
Yeah, it's Benito.
Oh my god.
That was one of the picks.
I'm like,
Who's the
Benito?
Buffalo? Who's the Buffalo player? Let's see if you could go for
Buffalo.
2 for 2 here. He's an offensive player.
Offensive player.
He's on.
Dawson
So he's
Knox?
on. He's a wide receiver, or what is he? Tight end.
Yes.
Dalton Kincaid.
Dawson Kincaid.
Well, no, he kind of technically a wide receiver, running back. It varies.
James Cook.
Nah.
I mean,
there it is. James Cook.
Crazy.
Sky Moore?
Yeah, and they drafted Brian Cook with their other second-round pick, and the next 2 picks became Benito and James Cook.
They drafted the wrong Cook. They didn't hit it in the kitchen, Phil. They hired the wrong Cook.
Hell no. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
James Cook. Wow, great offense will be because we lack a
Well,
running.
they did get Isaiah. They did get Isaiah Pacheco in round 7, though. Which
I forgot he said one.
Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
He at least can get me over 20 yards in our rush. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a value for 7th-round pick, though.
Yeah,
like
but
the Chiefs?
Point is, the Chiefs, the biggest problem with the Chiefs and what people forget about, and I still think this is a problem with Detroit too, because Detroit's drafting, I think, last year and the previous year has been terrible, but drafting matters in this league, and the Chiefs have not been drafting well the past few years. And look, losing McDuffie sucks. I get it, DJ. I do. He's one of the key players on that defense, but you're in a bad cap situation. His contract is coming up, and you're going to blow everything up once, Mr. Swift leaves the team. I'm not talking about the bald guy. I'm talking about the guy who's marrying a Swift. Kelsey. He's going to be going soon. Andy Reid is going to retire, I think, sometime in the future. Who knows what's going to go with Mahomes? I mean, I don't think they could get out of his contract if they wanted to, and they would be stupid to, because he owns a piece of the Kansas City Royals. People forget about that. But there's going to be a lot of change, and they have to do this. They have to. It's not just with the struggles. It's the cap situation. They don't have a lot of draft picks. And with this defensive-heavy draft, they could easily use those 2 picks to help their team. I mean, one of them is going to be an offensive lineman because their offensive line is absolutely terrible. I think that first pick will most likely be one of the top tackles in this draft. And the second pick will probably be a defensive player or maybe a receiver. I mean, if Casey Conception is there, Omar Cooper's been rising up in the draft boards. I still think if they were smart, because Mendoza's going first overall to the Raiders. If they're smart and the Chiefs have that pick, you use it on either Surratt or Cooper so that you don't have the connection. Because if either of those 2 are available with the Raiders' second-round pick, they're going to take them. Yeah. Why? Because they're stupid. Because the Raiders are not a good franchise. And I mean, they do have a first-round pick, 14th overall, but they're not taking Cooper or Surratt that high. They're not that big of idiots, are they? Yeah. No, they might be. I don't know. They drafted Cleveland Farrell 4th overall, and when he was like a top 30 prospect in my book. So,
we got to talk about the Rams though. On the Rams side, that's a big move because I mean, for me, the Rams are my Super Bowl favorite last year. Obviously they lost to the Seahawks, but I think for them that was one of their biggest needs in the secondary because they had so much talent on every other part of the ball.
3 words.
Except that secondary was probably their weak spot. But like I say, if you can get Stafford to play at an MVP level next season, you know what I'm saying? They could be Super Bowl favorites again this coming season. So that was a big move.
I got 3 words for the Rams with this trade, and I think you guys will agree with me. Stafford's last dance. I think they're going all in on this last year for Stafford.
You have to,
because I think he's done after this year. I mean, depending on what his piece of work wife says on her awful. I mean, she's I can't stand his.
She's a podcast. I don't know if she had a podcast.
Yeah, this woman once basically bragged about emotionally using one of his teammates just to get him jealous to go after him, and then. for an apology, decides to use a photo of the backup quarterback saying, "I apologize," with the kids involved and whoever he's married to. Yeah. I believe you 100% if you apologize like that. Very, very believable. But I think they're going all in on this one last year for Stafford. I mean, yes, they do have the first round pick of the Falcons. They gave up their own first round pick. So they still have a top 15 pick. And I think this trade, they're doing it for the last stance of Stafford. This could be their last chance. And who knows who they're going to take for their quarterback in the future. Because if they didn't do this trade, that late round pick could have been a quarterback they could develop, whether it's like a Ty Simpson, if he's available there. Even though I think Ty Simpson's going to be rising in the draft this year because we only have Mendoza, and there's going to be a lot of quarterback changes this year. I mean, Tua's gone. Kyler is gone. Vikings are looking for a quarterback. Raiders are going to take Mendoza, so who cares there? A lot of changes are happening there. So I wouldn't be shocked if he rises up the draft boards. But this is Stafford's last stance. What they could do is they could take a stud defensive player with their first round pick, and along with McDuffie going at the cornerback spot, because I'm looking at the secondary and I don't know if I like a ton of the secondary. Like Terrell is great. I used to like Caleb Downs until, and I've told DJ this privately, I've been heard that his knees are knackered. Like he has
a degenerative ACL.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's not good.
You know what that reminds me of? You know what that reminds me of, even though he kind of technically had an Achilles issue?
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Booth. Remember him? He was a player who was one of the top cornerbacks at one point. And then I think they found something with like his ankle or his knee or something like that. It was degenerative. And he fell down the tubes. I mean, another example, Todd Gurley. One of the major concerns with him was because his knees were
special.
Yeah. And ever since Super Bowl 53, where he got, and I still believe he was not used that game because his knees were knackered. And yes, he had the good few years, but I think that was the first sign of, his knees are done.
Yeah.
And I still think if Caleb Downs is healthy, great player. But they don't have a secondary piece there. So what do? You go to the trade market like they did here. You make the offer to the Chiefs. And look, the Rams don't need 2 first-round picks for now. And the mentality they always have is F them picks, right?
Yep.
And this is another example of that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if I'm the Rams, I would definitely send postcards to Terry Fondant or whatever his name is, the Falcons GM who made that stupid trade.
Oh, God.
And by the way, that first-round pick they used on James Pierce, he could be cut soon.
Yeah, bro.
And he should be cut. But I love this move for the Rams a lot. I mean, I think it's a win-win type move for Kansas City in my book, but we'll see. But the Rams are a very interesting team, and I wonder what quarterback they're going to draft to develop. Because if I'm the Rams and they are a very smart franchise, use one of your mid-round picks on a quarterback to develop for a plan B for next year.
Yeah, see who's available. Maybe a Drew Aller, something like that.
I know he's rising. The problem with Drew Aller is, I think his shoulder injury really concerns me a little bit. What are the other prospects in that draft class? I'm trying to think here. That's right. Newsemeyer, my guy. I think Newsemeyer. I still think he'll sneakily go into the first round, maybe. I mean, round 2, but he's a guy who I think doesn't get mentioned. Carson Beck's another guy that I'm not a tremendous Carson Beck guy, but he's a name to watch out for. Sawyer Robertson, decent. Taylon Green rose because of his combine performance. Cade Klubnik's another guy, and even though he has like the Doug Flutie syndrome, I still love me some Diego Pavea. I mean the problem is he's got the Doug Flutie syndrome, so. That's my one concern with him. But the point is, if I'm the Rams in the mid-rounds, whatever quarterback it is, and that you feel fits your system, take him. Take him.
How do you feel about the Rams defense with McDuffie there and also Jared Verse on that back line?
And that Fisk guy. And that Fisk guy too, the interior defensive. That was a phenomenal pick who they drafted years ago. That one was well done to Les Snead. The Rams know how to pick their guys. I mean, Puka Nacua, who they drafted. Phenomenal. I mean, even though Puka Nacua shot himself in the foot with, the podcast stuff with who's that piece of work?
Aiden Ross.
Something Ross. I forgot his first. Yeah, that guy. That guy. Aiden Ross. That's what the guy's. First off, Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross. He's not all there. Like that dude. He's definitely a few French fries shy from being a Happy Meal. If you get where I'm going here.
Wow.
Like seriously, that dude. Like he says some wild stuff. And Puka goes on there, and he says he shot himself in the foot. But the Rams they have to be the favorite to.
I agree.
And they're going to need everything to stop Seattle with how that offense has been. I mean, we'll see with their offensive coordinator leaving. He went to Vegas, but I think they need another piece on that secondary. I mean, if there's a guy you want, McDuffie's there.
Yeah, no, definitely. The Rams, and there's going to be in SoFi Stadium next year. I mean, I think it's already being written in the script that they're.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's going to be in SoFi.
Like they wrote the script. Like they wrote the script for when the Buccaneers won in the Super Bowl when Tom Brady was in there.
Tom Brady. I mean, if Matthew Stafford goes out in his last year, like has another MVP type year, to go out winning Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium, that's like the perfect Cinderella ending. You can't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought they could have made.
Well, Stafford's already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's like some say the future Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, but like I still think even though if he didn't have his tenure with the Rams and he was in Detroit, I still think he would have eventually gotten into the Hall of Fame. Not first ballot, but with how talented he was.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
the Rams. That trade honestly probably helped both him and Goff. Honestly, you never seen a trade like help both organizations.
Well, yeah, and the picks the Lions used in that trade too. Like it might go down as the greatest win-win trade. And depending on how the Lions, operate.
Respond back.
I mean, respond back. Even though, by the way, I think they would be fools. I think they would be fools if they fired Dan Campbell. They should never fire Dan Campbell and Brian Holmes. Like I said, look at the Jets ever since they fired Rex and Tannenbaum. That would be the Detroit Lions if they did that. But
they better not do that.
Point is, that trade is going to be so great for the Rams and the Chiefs. And, we'll see if the Chiefs draft well and use those picks properly, because the greatest thing I was ever told in college when I got my degree is it's not about acquiring draft picks is easy. It's using them that makes the process hard.
100%.
Just like getting a degree is easy, but trying to apply what you learn in that degree to get a good job.
Well, the market hasn't been good lately. The market hasn't been good lately.
Ain't the greatest right now, just say. Oh, one thing I was going to mention too, the Chiefs, one thing we've lacked is a running back, and there's some running backs on the market. We have the Super Bowl MVP. He's a unrestricted free agent. Kenneth Walker II. We have Travis Etienne of Jr. from the Jaguars on the market as well, and we can also use the top pass rusher. We haven't had a running back had multiple carries of over 20 yards last season. Kareem Hunt only had one last year. So I'm thinking we can maybe go get a running. If we can get, and there's some rumors out there, Kenneth Walker might want to come to join us with the Chiefs. If we can get someone like that to open up the run game for us, because that's one thing we've never had with during our tenure in Mahomes dynasty. We've mostly been dominating our team offensively and through the passing game. We have not really dominated.
Yeah, but I don't think you have a run. I don't think you can afford him.
It'll help. You don't think so?
I don't think you can afford Kenneth Walker with how bad. I don't know. What's their current cap situation? If you could bing that up for me, that would be a.
Jeremiah Love would be great. Shoot, I wouldn't mind getting Jeremiah Love.
I've heard that. I've heard that Tennessee's high on him, and that they're high on Ruben Bain. That's what I've been.
Yeah, I heard about Bain. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter because they have a terrible head coach, but whatever.
The Saleh, you like Saleh?
Oh, great defensive coordinator. Look, I like Robert Saleh as a person, but he's basically got Todd Bowles syndrome. Good defensive coordinator, terrible head coach.
We'll see. I mean, he was with the Jets, bro. So I want to give benefit.
Yeah, but listen, Saleh could. He's too nice.
He's too nice. Okay,
but you know the running back I think that you guys should try to swing for, even though I don't think I don't know what the plan for him is. I could see you going after like a Rashad White or a Tyler Algier, who I think is departing Atlanta soon. I could see you go after a guy like Algier, who I think would fit your system more and would be a little more cheaper. I mean, I would say Kenneth Gainwell, but the Steelers are a delusional franchise. They're bringing back everybody and think that they're going to be something next year with Mike McCarthy, which is a terrible idea. But
they better not bring back Rodgers, by the way.
I think that here's the thing that I find interesting with this, and then we'll go back to the Kenneth Walker talk. I apologize. I'll pay the $50 fine in Monopoly money when we meet up. But oh my God, I was talking with Rodgers and McCarthy hated each other when they left Green Bay. Yeah. But look, I get that Rodgers, he wants to go out on a high note with whatever team he joins, but if that hatred is still there and they can't get together and be cool with each other, I don't know if he plays next year.
I don't. Not with the Steelers. I don't see that making sense, honestly.
But look, it's the Steelers. I still think they're the most delusional franchise in football, and their owner doesn't get talked about as one of the worst owners in football because it's the Rooney family. But my God, he is a delusional owner, and Tomlin. If Tomlin should have been fired in 2020, and they didn't fire him because it's not the Steelers' way to fire a coach unless you're Matt Canada. But yeah, that's my thing with Aaron Rodgers. I wish him nothing but the best. And one thing that bothers me that I will agree with you on, one thing that bothers me about Rodgers is that I agree with him on. Can we please stop pressuring him to reveal details about his wife? Can we please stop? Like, it's his personal. Why do we need to know these people's personal life? Who cares?
Yeah. I do not care.
But going back to the running back discussion.
Yeah.
Going back to the running back decision.
So we have a $24.8 million in salary cap space, what I saw according to Over the Cap.
I don't know if.
But in Sports Illustrated, it says how Chiefs cleared nearly $100 million. So, things always fluctuate and stuff. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I have a feeling
spend more money too. They might release some guys.
Yeah, they might.
I heard. I have a feeling Chanquill they might release as well, which I don't want them to do. But if they want to.
I think if I'm the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If I'm the Chiefs, I would definitely make a trade offer to Breece Hall because there ain't no way Breece Hall is playing under that tag.
Breece want to go so bad, bro.
I don't blame him. I mean, he plays
for the redeem of the cap money. They can afford him.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all. I mean, Breece plays for the worst franchise in all of North America sports right now, so I don't blame him for wanting to leave.
Yeah,
but I could see them making a trade for Breece if you want. I think they have. Do they have like 2/3 if I remember correctly? Let me go on to Bing real quick to look it up. I know they have a lot of picks now. Let me go on
the Chiefs or the Jets.
Yes. No, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Draft picks.
That would not be a bad trade. I can see that. I mean, that'd be good for both parties, bro. I mean, Breece, get him out of there because Breece is a really good player. I just think with the Jets, it's like you can't really show your true value there. It's just a horrible situation.
Yeah, there's a dysfunctional franchise.
I think Breece would thrive with the Chiefs.
A real structure around their winning culture. They haven't won. When was the last time they won? I don't remember. Like 2010.
Yeah. When they went to the AFC, and we should have gone in 2015, but Todd Bowles did not prepare for the team to coach. And Darrelle Revis has said this. Darrelle Revis on the Joe and Evans show basically said, "Yeah, I didn't think that we were prepared for that, and we were facing Rex. I told Todd Bowles we should be prepared more, and they thought they had it in the bag." But I looked it up on Bing right now. The Chiefs currently have 2 firsts, a second, a third, a fourth, 3 fifths, and a 6th. So
you can package something for Breece Hall.
Definitely that's some assets.
Yeah,
there.
Correct.
Correct. And like I said, I don't see Brees playing under the tag, and the Chiefs do need a running back badly. I mean, Pacheco's still in the wrong. I mean, Hunt's got to go, right? Like, or is he a free agent?
I thought it was a 1-year deal for Hunt. I mean, because at his age, and like,
yeah,
right.
Look it up. Yeah, Kareem Hunt.
I mean, either way, you need a new far back.
He'll be an unrestricted free agent this year. He had a 1-year contract with them.
Dang,
expired. Yeah. So
how many rings? How many rings did he kick? Because of his, that dude could have had like 3 rings, and he kicked it all away.
Nice early in his career, man. He was the Browns too, but yeah.
And he kicked it away, dude. Like, seriously, that you say, oh my God, but it's true. He truly kicked his potential away.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
What? Go ahead.
I don't think she said that when. I don't think she said that when she got kicked. By the way,
I forgot you don't know music. You don't know the song reference. I know DJ know the song reference.
What song?
Legendary Tribe Called Quest, the '90s, man.
Yeah.
Classic.
Who?
Can I kick it?
It's a classic hip hop.
Here we go.
Huh?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. We'll get back to Kareem.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Well, you could tell me later.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kareem Hunt. I mean, if they release him, that's more money they could save and put towards a more productive running back. That's something they haven't. Pacheco, yes, he was good. I mean, when he was healthy, but ever since he's been injured, he hasn't really been the same. They need a running back they know they can rely on when it's like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and your passing game's not going. You need someone who could get that first down for you. Someone who could break open, give Patrick Mahomes' arm a break during big games and big plays. Because when you have to rely on him so much, and I don't want my quarterback always having to do the rushing, because we saw what happened this year when he broke down and tore his ACL because he was doing it so much earlier in the season, and then later on it's hard to break him down, and that's what eventually led to, fortunately, him tearing his ACL. So we need to get a running back to alleviate the pressure off him now that he's he's basically in his 30s now, so he's only adding more attrition to his body and mileage. So we need to kind of alleviate that off of him. We need to try to get someone who can help, like a Kenneth Walker. We could have some money for him, a Breece Hall trade for him, because I think that will help. Those guys are young; they're in their 20s. We need to get those guys while they're valuable.
Not mad.
Breece Hall, hey, come here, baby.
Another receiver.
Come here, Breece Hall. I know.
Listen, wherever Breece goes,
the Jets are just not doing him any favors.
Wherever Breece goes, I will respect him. That dude is the best running back that we've had since Chris Ivory, and the first 1,000-yard rusher on the team since Chris Ivory in 2015.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Nick yesterday. I was like, "Yo, y'all haven't had a running back rush over 1,000 yards in a decade."
Yeah, well, we haven't had we haven't had anything good happen to us in a while, and my team's a freaking disgrace. And the head coach sleeps during the combine.
Yeah, and the fact we're gonna get into Kyler Murray soon, but the fact that you franchise. I
don't want Kyler Murray.
I was going to ask you that as a Jets fan.
I do not want Kyler Murray.
Do you want short stuff? It's like no.
No, I do not want Kyler Murray. But here's the thing. I have a feeling that the Chiefs the Jets are gonna sign 2 quarterbacks, in my opinion, that they're gonna do. Here's one quarterback I know is gonna sign there, and I think you'll be like, they're idiots. Ready? Carson Wentz.
No. Stop.
I'm telling you this. I'm telling you, they are going to sign Carson Wentz because Frank Reich and him. The reason why he went to Indianapolis was because Frank Reich traded him away. I mean, he was a big Carson Wentz guy, Frank Reich. You know what I mean? And I have a feeling that he is going to go to the New York Jets to rejoin Frank Reich.
I wouldn't sign him to a high school team.
Oh my! But I don't want to either. But I have a feeling Carson Wentz is going to be signing with the Jets. I'm telling you, with the connection with him and Frank.
Are you saying as a backup? I guess.
Well, both, because I think he's going to start and be the backup.
No.
I don't want to either, but I'm accepting it because I'm telling you,
the big 2-6.
I agree. I wouldn't do it. I don't want Kyler Murray.
That, man.
I don't want Kyler Murray. I'd rather have Kirk Cousins over Kyler Murray and Carson Wentz. I mean, I still think Kirk's going back to Minnesota with how beloved he is there.
Ooh,
But
okay.
I don't know what the Jets are stuck. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. This team is
honestly.
a disgrace. They have a head coach who sleeps during the combine and something that he calls his superpower, calling the defense.
Oh yeah, he messed up with that. We should have never said that. Bro, he should have never said that.
First off, stop lying to us. That is the only reason why you're calling the defense. It's not because it's your superpower. It's because the incompetent owner acting like he's broke, not wanting to bring in Wink Martindale.
That would be like Stevie Wonder saying, you know what my superpower is, y'all? Seeing. I'm saying Stevie, that'd be like Stevie Wonder saying, you know what my superpower is? Seeing. Stevie Wonder.
That's a good one. Man. That's a good one.
You gotta stop, bro. He should. Yeah, he should.
Again, like I said, fire Aaron Glenn tomorrow, and let's bring back Rex and Tannenbaum. Why not?
Rex should still be.
Rex, you already got Seth, his son, in the coaching staff. I would fire Aaron Glenn tomorrow. Bring Rex, and I would bring Seth Ryan to coach, and then once Rex is gone, promote Seth Ryan to coach. Why not?
Y'all need Jesus. I don't know what.
We need more. We need more.
Right. That's what they need to do.
We need a voodoo priest at this point. Yeah. We need a voodoo priest.
What they need next, they need the Pope.
The Pope was Chicago, the Pope worked it with the Chicago Bears. I mean, why not?
Yeah, he's going to Chicago.
Yeah, he need the Pope.
He's doing it with Chicago. I need it with the Jets.
Oh man.
Oh, God. I can't stand this team. Sell the team, Woody. Sell the team. Get out of here. You do not know how to run a football team.
You know, it's not a Nick episode without him saying at least once, sell the team, Woody.
Well, I'm not going to stop saying it until Woody's gone.
I mean, hey, I can tell you as a Commanders fan how good it is when you get good ownership.
Well, are you sure he's going to stay in ownership? Because he's been named in those
no, don't do that.
files.
We had Dan Snyder. He was horrible. Now they got real good ownership in our side.
I know, but when you're named in those files like Steve Tisch is with the Giants.
Steve did something.
He should sell tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
he does not look
that old SpongeBob? You know when those SpongeBob memes when he's like opening like the coffin and he's like, get in? We need that SpongeBob in front of a jail cell with Steve Tisch walking and like, get in.
Yeah. Get your behind in there.
But yeah. But I don't know what's more amazing to me, the fact that Dan Snyder isn't even mentioned on there, or the fact that the NFL's doing nothing with the whole Steve Tisch thing. They just want it to go away.
Bro. Yeah.
I don't know what's wild to me, the fact that that they're doing nothing, or the fact that Snyder isn't even involved in the files.
Like he's an outcast either way.
That's crazy.
Let's
get into some Kyler Murray destinations, because we know the Cardinals are basically said they're going to release him sometime this coming week.
Black Ops 7.
Yeah. Former 2-time Pro Bowler. This guy was #1 pick back in 2019. He's had some injuries throughout his career that's kind of hampered his career, which we kind of expected when he was coming into the league, because we were like worried about his size, 5'8", 5'9", whatever height he is. But he knows he's on the shorter end, and we knew with his diminutive size, going against big fellas in the NFL who are coming at you, 300-pound linemen, it was going to take an effect on him, especially when there's a guy who accelerates, utilizes his athleticism and speed, and then he tore his ACL. He had, I think this past year, what injury did he have? It was his knee, or was it? I think it was his knee or foot, something like that.
I think it was his ankle or something like that. It was ankle. A weird injury. It was a weird injury too. He like injured it when he was like doing a drop back. I think it was like during one of the like fumbles or something like that, where they like botched. You know what I'm talking about? Like where they botched like the snappers. It was a weird placement thing, and he hurt his ankle. And I mean, the Cardinals were going nowhere after that DeMarcado stuff, but I mean, Arizona had to get rid of him because now that they have the third pick, but I don't know what they're going to do with it. But for Kyler Murray, there are really 4 teams I could see him playing on next year.
One of them I have is what we mentioned earlier, the Minnesota Vikings. I think
that's one of my teams.
Yeah. Like this team, we
that's
saw
one
how
team I have.
awful JJ McCarthy was last year, and it looks like the Vikings.
Oh my God,
moving off him. It was so bad. Me and Nick were laughing.
It's sort of the same spot where it's sort of the same spot when the Jets were signed Aaron Rodgers and they had Zach Wilson to back up. It sort of feels like that with the Minnesota Vikings right now. If you get where I'm going here, Minnesota's one team I see him going to. The Indianapolis Colts are another team I see him going to.
Yep.
The Atlanta Falcons are the third team I see him going to.
Yeah, Falcons, I can see that.
I was going to say the Miami Dolphins.
The fourth.
That's mine.
I would say that is the number 4 team too. There is a 5th team I could see him going to play for, and that is the Sacramento Athletics of the MLB.
Oh man,
I was going to mention that. I was going to mention that. I wasn't sure if y'all.
I'm being serious with that because with all the injuries he suffered through, they reached out to him. And I could see him if he's done with football or he doesn't want to, because we know he has the Call of Duty addiction too, where we don't know if he's passionate for it. I could see him pulling a Bo Jackson where he just decides to play baseball.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that because he wasn't drafted top 10.
I think he was drafted. I think 7th overall, if I remember correctly.
He was elite at baseball. Some people,
he was really good, but I don't blame him one bit for choosing. I don't blame him one bit for choosing the NFL because the NFL has more guaranteed contracts, and drafted for in the round 1 of the NFL draft, you get more money easily, and you're still a long shot when you're drafted in the MLB draft. Yes, you're a first rounder, but the way you develop, it's not guaranteed, and along with minor league contracts and baseball being so low. I don't blame him one bit for choosing the NFL.
Definitely.
But I just had to throw out the Sacramento Athletics, and yes, I'm calling them the Sacramento Athletics.
They moved through.
Here's what they're doing. They're moving to Sacramento to play for 4 years or something like that.
Then they're going to Vegas.
Then they're going to Vegas. They say 3 years. I'm going to say 4 years because construction always gets delayed. And then they're going to Vegas. And then John Fisher will sell the team.
Sacramento, then Vegas? Oh.
Yeah.
And then John Fisher will sell the team.
Yeah,
but those are the teams I see him going to. Like I said, I don't want Kyler Murray. I think not only the injury risk there, I don't know if the passion is there. Maybe this change of scenery will help things out, but I don't know. Maybe if he's in the right scheme, maybe it could work. But if I'm him, and you want to play it smart, I think the place you need to go is the Indianapolis Colts. Because there's still, yes, they transitioned, tag Daniel Jones, whoop-de-doo. But Daniel, he played last year with a broken fibula, torn Achilles. I don't even think he's going to be healthy at all. Sign Kyler Murray to a cheap contract as the backup player, because Richardson's being traded for. I mean, I wouldn't trade a long snapper for Anthony Richardson. He stinks, but that's what I would do. You need to have a backup plan, and if you rely on Daniel Jones, it wouldn't work out, But hey, worse for worse, if the season goes bad for the Colts next year, at least they got their first round pick in a quarterback-heavy draft next year. Oh wait, they don't have that. The Jets do.
I was going to say
that Ahmad Sauce Gardner trade has got to go down as one of the biggest overpays ever, bro.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
If I get it at the time because at the time they're looking so good. They're 7, 8, or 8-1.
Look, I love Ahmad Gardner. I still think he's a good cornerback when healthy. But 2 first-round picks and a player for a corner, that's a bit rich in my book. I mean, Ahmad's, like I said previously on the pod, a while ago, I still think Ahmad's still one of the top players in this league. Yeah. Problem is he just can't tackle. He can't tackle and he can't catch. He's good at everything else as a cornerback, but he can't tackle and he can't catch.
How you gonna get interceptions if you can't catch?
Yeah.
You're a quarter,
you have
to want them to shut down, but you want them to get picks too. You gotta be able to catch the ball, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, make plays on the ball.
That's why That's why I think getting Kyler is more important, because I don't know if Daniel Jones's body is going to hold up. And if you want to sign Kyler to a 2-year deal or something like that, just as a backup plan, if Daniel Jones doesn't want to re-sign and you have that option at quarterback, if I'm Kyler, sign the 2-year deal with Indianapolis.
I can understand that. I never really got the hype with Kyler Murray. As far as he's very talented. I just never believed in him as a franchise quarterback. I really haven't.
Yeah. I was gonna
I don't know
say
how y'all
too.
feel, but yeah.
I was gonna say too. If he doesn't go to the Colts, I feel like the Vikings will be a great place too, because Kevin McConnell, he did revive Sam Darnold's career, and I felt like Kyler right now he's in a time in his career.
I think you got to throw in Kyle Shanahan's name into that list too, because he did.
Yeah,
I think he went to San Francisco and then
first,
Minnesota.
and then Minnesota.
And look, Kyle Shanahan's a choker, a bona fide choker, but he's a great offensive mind, and you got to throw his name on there. On the list.
So I think
facts.
I think that could be great for Kyler Murray, who's still 28 in his prime. He's still, when he's healthy and right, I think he's still a capable guy. And if you give him an elite receiver, like you pair him with a Justin Jefferson, I think that could be some magic. And Justin Jefferson, he has thrown some shots at the quarterback play last year. I don't know if you guys seen it. He's thrown some shots like, if we had a different quarterback, I think we could have been.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell.
Because he saw us. He didn't want to pay this guy or whatever. And look what he did with the Seahawks. And when he's like, if we had a different quarterback, I think things would have been different. You give him a Kyler Murray. I know I'm not saying Murray is like on the top tier, but if he is healthy and right, he's a top 15 talent type of quarterback. And you pair him with a Justin Jefferson and the other weapons they have with him, with Kevin McConnell's offensive scheme, I think he can have some success there. And I think they could be a team that could be dangerous come next year.
It's going to be really interesting to see how that running back.
Or what do you say?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Wentz enough. Is Carson Wentz a free agent? I didn't check. I need to check. Is he a free agent this
summer? Carson Wentz is a free agent. I still think he's going to the Jets. I'm telling you, I still think he's going to the Jets.
Keep him off my team. All I say, keep him off my team.
I know we're saying the Vikings and Colts, but I feel like it's probably the Jets. I'm telling you. I know Nick doesn't want him.
Is Mariota staying in Washington? I know you're Commander's fan. Is Mariota staying there?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do with the backup quarterback, honestly. But
Carson Wentz.
I haven't heard much noise about that.
No, I'm kidding. Imagine if Carson Wentz went back to Washington. Oh.
No. Yeah, no.
Nah, we have Jaden Daniels. We're good here. We don't need you back.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you got to have a backup. I mean, Jaden Daniels with the injury, you pretty much need a backup nowadays. But it's gonna be interesting to see where Kyler goes. I mean, Atlanta is a good option because I think Michael Penix stinks. Golly, Jeffrey's going to hate me for saying that if he watches this. But yeah, I don't think Michael Penix is any good. And with Stefanski, he would fit, the Kyler Murray. Like, Kyler Murray would fit in this system. I mean, I doubt that this will happen because as a sneaky signing, I doubt this will happen because they have Shedeur Sanders there. They have to have Deshaun Roethlisberger. Oh, sorry, Deshaun Watson. Same thing. But
oh wow, bro,
you wild man.
He didn't lie though. But
I'm not lying, but But the point is, with Deshaun Roethlisberger coming back to the team because of how bad his contract was, and I've heard Dylan Gabriel might be getting cut next year because the Browns might not want to keep him around.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. But the point is, maybe Kyler Murray could go there if he wants to sign a cheap deal. But let's be real,
so much drama.
Who wants to go to Cleveland? They're another team that is so dysfunctional. I don't know who's more dysfunctional, them or the Raiders. Jets are number one. That's obvious. But who's more dysfunctional, the Raiders or the Browns?
That's tough. I mean, at least the Raiders got Tom Brady.
Well, Tom Brady's not a good owner. The only reason why Maxx Crosby got traded, by the way, was because he hates Alex Guerrero, Brady's yes man. But
Maxx Crosby thought.
I mean, that's a sort of sneaky spot I could see him going to is Cleveland / the Raiders. Because look, you can't have Fernando Mendoza just win the job immediately with no competition. That's just
I wouldn't even start Mendoza year one, honestly.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. Like, not immediately. And the biggest mistake a lot of these teams make when it comes to these quarterbacks, they start them immediately. Like,
Exactly.
unless you're like an Andrew Luck type of player,
Yeah,
or
Daniels.
I'm trying to think what else. Who was really good? Bo Nix is another example, but because the Broncos had no choice and he was 26. I mean, these quarterbacks need time to develop and competition. They need competition. That's why I think Zach Wilson's career died in New York, by the way. Wasn't because of it kind of was his attitude. Wasn't because of Saleh. Well, it kind of was because of Saleh. Wasn't because of the, well, it kind of was against that.
Yeah.
But a big reason nobody talks about, yes, the Greg Knapp stuff happened, but Wilson had no competition. And that killed him.
I never thought Zach was. I don't know what the hype was about Zach Wilson. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's because he had that throw at that BYU.
That one throw.
That one throw. I didn't want Zach Wilson at that time. I wanted Justin Fields at that draft.
I didn't understand that. Yeah.
I wanted Justin Fields that year, but it turns out Justin Fields would have probably sucked here too. By the way, Justin Fields is the classic example of a social media quarterback.
Yeah, man.
That is the definition of a social media quarterback.
I thought he'd be good in the league.
Well, he's a social media quarterback, so
yeah, man.
Where do you think because he's going to get cut from the Jets? Where do you think he goes?
I guess he can go into the Dolphins. Honestly, I think
he could.
Yeah. Dolphins could use a quarterback. He's young. He fits their offense. I think he could be great for them. I think Miami might be one.
You know what? Where I could see him going, and no one's talking about it because the Cardinals are a cheap organization. Arizona would be very interesting if he wants to go there.
I was gonna say, I want to say them next too.
He's a backup at this point, though. You're not starting him.
Well,
imagine like him and
what
Kyler
other
just
quarterbacks
like switch
in Arizona?
places. Like Kyler went to the Jets and then went to the swap.
No, he's a backup at this point.
What quarterbacks are currently on the Cardinals roster? Because I know Kyler's left. I mean,
shoot. Oh, Clayton Tooney?
No, he's in the UFL.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Scrub quarterback, by the way. Clayton Toon. Jacoby Brissett. Even though I think Brissett's a free agent too. I think Brissett's a free agent too, so we'll see with him. Kendon Slavis is still in the league. Wow. Good for him. Yeah, that's the other quarterback on the Cardinals right now.
You got to get somebody. I think Malik Willis is going to the Cardinals.
So where you guys ultimately
I don't know where
Kyler ending up?
Indianapolis.
I said Jets.
What about you, Phil?
Yeah, I was thinking Jets.
I know Nick's gonna hate it, but I'm gonna say Jets too.
Yeah,
I think the Jets.
I don't want Kyler on my.
I don't want Kyler on my team. Jets or Vikings for me.
Jets. I think it's Indianapolis or Atlanta to me. Vikings are number 3, but I mainly because I think Kirk is going back to Minnesota. But it's either Atlanta or Indianapolis for me.
Actually, let me change my pick. Jets and Dolphins. I'll change. Yeah, I think the Vikings. At least Carson Wentz they might resign, and then like Kirk Cousins, he might go on a farewell tour today too. So I'm gonna go Dolphins. I know Dolphins. They said they're done.
I think Zach Wilson is. I think Zach Wilson's still under contract with the Dolphins right now. He has to be starting games next year, right?
I mean, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see who they end up getting.
Dolphins. You got 2 years.
I mean, Zach Wilson was benched. Like, he was the 3rd stringer at 1.2 when Quinn Ewers was the quarterback. So I shouldn't say that, but can't rule it out.
So let's get into the DJ Moore trade to Buffalo. How are we feeling, guys? Bills get DJ Moore, 2026 first-round pick, and the Bears get a 2026
2 words. Pick. 2 words for Buffalo here. Too late. This should have been done last year. They should have gotten their.
They should have got Jalen Waddle last year.
Well, yeah, but why did they promote Brandon Beane again?
That didn't make any sense.
I mean, firing McDermott, I understood. That had to be done after this year. But you promote Brandon Beane? I don't get that at all. But
I didn't like that either.
I still think it's too late. Buffalo's done in my book. Yes, they could have good seasons and all that, but you're not winning with this core after what we saw last year and with how that defense collapsed. Like, they're not winning. I've given up on Buffalo. I've given up on Baltimore. But
the Raiders?
Wow. I've given up on Baltimore.
What? Don't let him hear that. He's a Maryland native.
No, I got a good reason why, but
No, Commanders.
look, I still think they'll be playoff contenders. I've given up on them as Super Bowl contenders.
Right to that point, yeah.
That's where I probably should have worded that better. But Buffalo should have dropped the nuke. Like their core's done. I just don't see them winning with them. And you promoted Joe Brady as your head coach, the same Joe Brady that made Josh Allen look like he was a rookie during the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, I don't get that.
Yeah. Indespicable.
And look, here's the thing I also don't like about the DJ Moore trade. Yes, it's basically a pick upgrade for the Bears. You took on all of his contract.
Yeah, $73.5 million over the next 3 years with a team option.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
You want to know what that reminds me of? And this backfired for them, kind of. It reminded me of when Keenan Allen got traded from the Chargers to the Bears, and they took on all of his contract. It was like a 4th-round pick, if I remember correctly. I mean, he had the injury stuff and all that, but like he just never was the same player. And another thing too, DJ Moore kind of like ever since he like jogged during that, I think it was like the Bears game where he like in the playoffs or was like jogging or something like that. I knew his time was done. And Luther Burden's
the Rams game.
Yeah. And Luther Burden's gonna have a big year.
Yeah,
hopefully,
nice.
if he develops properly. I have to say, if he develops.
And Odunze. I like Odunze too.
And And Caleb pretty much said to the Bears during that draft, "You're drafting Odunze no matter what, and I will come." That's what he said.
Colston Loveland, he ate some big catches for them too.
Yeah,
he was good for them.
Really I still would have preferred Tyler Warren, but yeah, Loveland, it looked really good especially in the playoffs. But yeah, I still think Chicago wins this trade. Yes, they get the 2nd-round pick. They got the pick upgrade, but the Galvis contract, it wasn't a good situation with DJ Moore there. Another gift from the Bryce Young trade. They get an extra 2nd-round pick to play with.
Yeah.
I mean,
we kind of saw that chemistry was kind of off between him and Caleb. We kind of saw it last year.
Yeah.
He had a career low in receptions and receiving yards. Some people were wondering if he was injured or something. He wasn't injured. They just were trying to feature the young guys. They want to feature their guys that are on rookie contracts and see what they have in them. So they were like, all right, let's trade DJ Moore. Let's see what we have here with these guys on our rookie contract, and we can save some money off our cap. So that's basically what they did. Shedding money. That's what, at the end of the day, these are businesses at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's not the only trade that they made too. By the way, they even got some more protection for Caleb. They made a trade with New England to get Garrett Bradbury. That's another trade I actually like. It costed them a 5th-round pick. I mean, whatever, but I'm fine with anyone trading a pick for an interior play. Look, it's a sort of a panic move because Bradbury did suffer decline, but it's a nice step piece move to bolster the offensive line. I like it.
Yeah.
And it also helps them replace the center who just retired. I forgot what his name was.
Drew Allman. Yeah.
I think so. Yes, but
27 years old.
I don't blame him. I mean, the NFL is a grueling sport, and with his knowledge of how, something about where he was around and all the medical stuff, I don't blame him one bit at all for leaving the game.
Yeah,
he got his contract. He got his money.
Guys, like Aaron Donald, he retired early too. It takes a toll on your body.
Well, Aaron Donald had nothing left to prove.
Yeah, he had done everything, bro.
Yeah,
but
he said, "I want to."
Are y'all surprised?
Well, there was one thing Aaron Donald needed to do, and that's get away from that crazy stalker that was following him everywhere. And
what?
You heard the story? Yeah, there's the story. Aaron Donald. Yeah, because the lady was, again, Coco for Cocoa Puffs, was stalking him, followed his wife and his kids or something like that. And he had to get a restraining order over this lady.
Oh,
that's insane.
I did not know that. That's terrifying. That's disturbing.
Yeah. You know what else is terrifying? What the Houston Texans have been doing.
What they've been doing. I haven't kept up with that.
With the Montgomery trade?
Well, they traded Titus Howard to Cleveland for a 5th-round pick. Here's a trade that I don't understand as well for the Texans. You get David Montgomery. Okay, that's fine. David Montgomery wanted out from what I was told, but You traded 2 draft picks and an offensive lineman in Juice Scruggs for a running back? What? And you trade Titus Howard away? You see the problem here? CJ Stroud was not good. Why?
The O-line.
Correct. And you trade 2 of the only competent offensive linemen you got on your team?
And then before that, you traded Tunsil. So it's like,
Tunsil was going to get a pay upgrade. That one was different. And they were rebuilding at the time. And Miami, they weren't rebuilding. Like their cap situation. I got it mixed. Yeah. Like the cap situation, they needed cap space. But
I'm just saying, like, your quarterback has regressed in part because of the O-line. People blame the quarterback so much, but to me, it's more of the O-line issues.
Correct.
And also, his receivers were hurt against the Patriots.
Yep.
Collins, so
yeah. That I just had to mention those 2 trades. That I don't know what the Texans are doing. Like, I really don't. They better spend on that offensive line.
They're about to fumble an all-time great defense, man. It's sad.
And look, I don't. People are going after Stroud, and look, Stroud has been playing great, but he has no offensive line at all.
Exactly.
He does have talent, though. I mean, he does have Nico Collins. Xavier Hutchinson was doing well. Nathaniel Tank Dell is going to be returning from that brutal injury, and hopefully he can play the way he did. I mean, Nathaniel Dell was a really good receiver before he
Oh no, he was.
I forgot. I didn't know his name was Nathaniel. I've always called him Tank. I didn't know.
Well, his first name is Nathaniel. I refuse to call this guy Tank because it's not his name. It's not his birth certificate. And you know me. Like I always.
He's strict to the point. He's rigid. He's like, somebody else let's tell him their name.
You call Magic Johnson Irvin? I want to ask you that. You call Magic Irvin?
I call him Irving Magic Johnson.
Really? Okay. Wow. Okay. I was like,
On a side note, great player, terrible executive in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Everything he did for the Lakers was
LeBron. Remember the story of Jeannie Buss accidentally seeing Magic Johnson and what a terrible job he was doing as the executive? You remember that?
I'm trying to have a good day.
Oh man,
I'll tell you about here. I know it'll make your day better as a Lakers fan. LeBron James is injured.
I mean, he's 41 though.
Dude, did you see him basically make that like one of the softest falls I've seen in basketball? And he was yelling and crying and complaining and like that.
That's the first time he's ever done that.
Like, dude, like. You gotta step it up, man. I get you're at the end of your career, but stop acting like a female dog out there. Like, seriously.
I
oh. Hey,
what? I didn't use the word. I used the definition.
Well, me and Matt and Phil were talking about we're gonna get back to football real quick, but me and Matt and Phil were talking last week about Luka Doncic incessantly whining to the refs last week. So like that needs to stop.
Oh my god, Luka. Something is up with Luka. That trade is still one of the worst of all time, but something is going on with Luka. It might just be me overthinking it, but there's something personal going on with Luka. I don't know if it's like a confidence issue. I don't think it's an alcohol or drug issue because, I mean, the Mavericks put up with that with Dirk Nowitzki. I can't ever say his last name.
Nowitzki.
Nowitzki. Yes.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if it's with
something
his wife
is going
because I heard and saw rumors that she took pictures down of him on her Instagram. And I'm like, oh.
And
with Luka's wife?
Can that be something? I hope not.
Why
would you take pictures down with him? Just with him in it.
I don't get it. You know I don't get it. Like, why is that a big deal?
Do they break up or they're supposed to be engaged or something? I don't know
but keep it basketball. He got to play better, bro, defensively.
Yeah, he's got to step it up, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. Whatever's going on, I hope he's okay. But I still think the Lakers are screwed because they're a team built for LeBron by LeBron. Eventually, will be without LeBron. And what are they going to do? Name chase again, like they've been since the Kobe era?
Yeah.
Hey, we got to win today. Can we get back to football?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So before we get to Maxx Crosby, so we didn't get to mention. So Yeah, the Bills got DJ Moore. How you guys think he could help the Bills? Because I think he's a deep field receiver. He's great in coverage and long heaves. He's great through traffic. He did when you watch I watched his highlights yesterday with the Bears, and man, he made some great catches through traffic, through contact, and that's something the Bills really lacked last year. Khalil Shakir was their top leading receiver over the last 2 years, and he's more of an intermediate short route receiver. He's consistent, reliable, but he's not a guy who's going to beat you downfield. You add more to the mix, and I think that could open up things in the field for Shakir and their tight ends that they have in Knox and Kincaid. So I think that can make their offense more diversified. And you still have James Cook in that back line as the running back, who also has you could have in a decoy as a wideout who can catch the football as well, which is also a great weapon to have as a versatile running back. So if I'm Josh Allen, I'm feeling,
words.
Even though I still don't trust them, though. Even though despite all those weapons,
here's my
I don't trust the defense.
Yeah, and that's the issue. Yeah.
Not only that, but with I love Josh Allen. He's a phenomenal quarterback. Him and Lamar are great, but I think they're going to decline hard soon with the way they play and the hits they take. And and we saw it last year with Lamar when he got injured. I think they're going to decline hard these next few years.
I feel like it's going to be even more Lamar than because I feel like Lamar's already breaking down. You saw his back injury. That's not good to have when you're only 28.
Well, it's not just the back injury; it's the hamstring injuries, it's the foot injuries. Allen played with I think a shoulder injury. It was in this playoffs. But going back to your original question, DJ, of what DJ Moore would add to this team, 2 words: too late. Should have been done last year. I'm done with this Bills team. Blow it up. You are not winning with this core. You're not winning with whatever you're doing with this GM. And that's sad. You had your chance and you blew it.
I thought they were going to trade for AJ Brown. That's that move I thought. That's the move.
No, I think the Eagles are asking way too much for AJ Brown. They want a first, a third, and a player. I just think that's way too rich for AJ Brown.
Who is a headache?
I'm sorry.
In the
not only,
yeah,
he's a headache in the locker room, and you got to pay the cancer tax. I'm sorry, Philly.
Yeah, because as great as he is, he was a no-show in that postseason game when they lost. I forgot who they lost. They lost to who again in the post playoffs? I forgot who they played.
The Niners.
Who they lost to? Who was it?
The Niners. The Niners.
He was a no-show, bro. Yeah. Like you're supposed to be the number one receiver, and you were not impactful at all. And you're always talking like, man, I don't get the ball, I don't get this, but then you had big drops down the stretch.
When you think of the throw to you, don't do nothing. Yeah. That was
and it's hard to come back from that. I mean, wouldn't shock me if AJ Brown stayed.
Yeah,
because the asking price is too high.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, they got to really work that out because if it gets too toxic and too diva-ish real quick, I mean, you don't want to end up like the Pittsburgh Steelers when they had like the cancer infests everyone. You know what I mean? Like Bell, this was when Bell was there and he had his holdout. Antonio Brown being a cancer and, running himself out of town. Big Ben being a piece of work, as he always is. Yep. James Harrison leaving to go start off his podcast. Cameron Hayward being Cameron Hayward. I'm trying to think what else. Artie Burns was on that team. That was a player who could have been something if, so many different types of cancers spreads. You got to cut the cancer out. And unless they dive down with the offer prices that they have, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Imagine if they trade him back to Tennessee. The memes that would be created of AJ Brown getting traded back to Tennessee. The memes I would send to you, DJ. The memes.
Like if Kyler Murray went to the Jets and Justin Fields went to the Cardinals and just swapping bodies.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh myself.
Basically, what will happen? So I feel like
what's sad? The Jets are gonna. What's sad? The Jets are gonna pay Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers next year to not play for them.
I know. It's hilarious. Same with the Dolphins. They're paying to not play.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They have no choice. They have to swallow that $92 million poison.
92 million.
Crazy.
Boy.
Where does
I'm like,
where
that,
you know where
that
I think
money. I'm like, oh shoot. So you tell me
Yeah.
I get paid if I don't play for you? Hey, be my guest. Even if you're in that
cut
franchise
me,
like the
please.
Jets,
Hell yeah.
so be it.
Yeah, you know where I think Tua should go, and I don't think he's gonna go there, but I think it would be smart for him to go there. You're gonna call me
That's
crazy
correct.
for this. Ready? Tampa Bay.
What?
Tampa Bay could use like
As a
Baker's
backup?
been Baker was
Be
playing
Baker's
with that
backup?
injury last year, and I could see him taking a cheap deal to be Baker's backup. You know, go
I got
rehabilitate
college.
himself. You get the taxes, and you know I don't think he has to move far from where he is right now. You know, go to school a little bit, be Baker's backup, maybe start because Baker was playing hurt last year,
Yeah,
and with
true.
all the
He's still
injuries,
different.
Baker's been
Probably different second half
yeah,
of the
like
season.
Baker is a tough dude. He is TOUGH tough.
What capitals?
I
All
think if two,
capitals.
yep, but I'm not so sure. Like I could just rely on him as the quarterback for next year, especially because Todd, even though Todd Bowles should have been fired last year, that team is make or break next year. And I think if you sign him to a cheap, I don't think Tua is going to go to sign to a team to be the starter. I think he'll sign a cheap deal to become the backup. And if I'm smart with if he's smart, you sign a cheap deal in Tampa Bay.
Because then you have a chance to win, and then it's not a lot of pressure on you to be the go-to guy.
And if he gets hurt,
yeah,
and if he gets hurt, and because I don't see Tua signing with a team that's going to be in the cold, you know, because Tua sucks in the cold.
Yeah,
and I think he's.
I wouldn't do it.
If there's a team down south he would sign with, I could see him going to Tampa. If not, Atlanta could be a sneaky option, maybe.
I was gonna say Atlanta. Yeah, I was gonna say them. That could be a sneaky one.
Arizona, I just don't see it. Dallas, they have Dak, and they traded for Joe Milton. That's out. The Texans, maybe, depending on how Stroud is, but the offensive line scares me.
Like the starter. He'd have to be the starter. There's no one. Yeah,
correct.
Quarterback there.
Carolina, no. Even though Andy Dalton could be gone from there soon too. But I'm just thinking it logistically, because if I'm Tua, I wouldn't go anywhere north. I would go to somewhere that is south or in the middle of the United States, be the backup. Maybe Indianapolis, we'll see. I don't know. Like, or in a dome like in Detroit or something like that. But I think those two are out. The logical destination for him, in my opinion, I doubt this will ever happen, but if it was me as Tua, would be Tampa Bay. Go there, be the backup. We'll see how Baker Mayfield plays, and easy plug and play. And with Tampa Bay, their current quarterback room, I got to bring this up if I don't. It's not Blaine Gabbert. Who's their backup?
Yeah, it's quarterbacks.
Teddy Bridgewater, I think, was their backup if I remember correctly. And I don't think he's going to sign another deal to return.
Kyle Trask was their backup.
Yeah,
no, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater / Kyle Trask. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater and Kyle Trask. That's what it was. Yeah. And look, no offense to Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's going to go back into coaching now that the Bridgewater Act got passed. But I'd much rather have Tua play as my backup than Teddy Bridgewater. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at that. Well, speaking of Tampa, though, what do you think about Mike Evans? What do you think he does?
I think he ring chases. I think he's going to ring chase. If I were him, I would ring chase in Seattle or with the Rams.
Okay.
Or
imagine him with the Rams. Ooh, Puka, Devontae Adams. Oh man, that's trio. Wide receivers from the league. The depth is crazy.
I mean, Denver would be intriguing if he wants to go there.
I heard Washington is also an option for him.
I mean, yeah, but Washington. Look, I know it's your team, but Washington really screwed themselves last year. It's signing a bunch of old guys.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I wouldn't do it.
My Chiefs could afford Mike Evans because we could use him, man.
That wouldn't be bad.
That wouldn't. That's a spot I could see him going to.
I could see him going there because we saved a lot of money off in the cap with releasing guys and recently. So yeah,
he's an interesting one. I still think he's going to ring chase with the team.
Okay,
but
he's 33. I'm not mad at that.
Or here's another sneaky option I could see him going to. Jacksonville.
Okay.
The Liam Cohen connection, or if he wants to go to Carolina to be one of but I don't know if he wants to go to Carolina because they're a division rival. I mean, I don't know what his loyalty lies, but if he wants to go stay in Florida for tax-free money, Jacksonville is the way to go. Just throwing it out there.
I heard they don't love Brian Thomas that much right now.
Well, Brian Thomas has a drop issue. That I don't blame them for that. And I like the Jacoby Myers trade is one of the more underrated trades in the trade deadline. That was a really good trade for Washington
too. They got some pieces.
Speaking of trades, we got to mention this. Phil, you're a Maryland native, and I know Nick's not a believer in the Ravens. They got Maxx Crosby, and how you feel? They traded him for the 14th pick, 2027 first round pick. They got the All-Pro defensive end. How are you guys feeling about that? The Ravens beefed up their defensive.
That was a big move.
Yeah. And the Ravens only had 30 sacks last season. They were tied for third fewest in the league last year. And they only had a 29.9% pass rush win rate, which was ranked 5th worst. You had an all-pro like this, who's a strong, disruptive defender, great against the run and the pass. I think he is an elite run stopper. You add him to, which was one of the biggest weaknesses for the Ravens last year, stopping the run. They allowed it way too many big runs last year. Yes, they have Kyle Hamilton, who's an all-pro type secondary in the back line, but their run defense struggled very much last year. And they needed a guy like this, Crosby, who can wreak havoc and give their defense, make them a fearsome defense again. Because Baltimore in past years, they had a great defense, but last year they kind of fell back down to earth. So adding this can really help bolster their defense and hopefully take some pressure off their offense to have to produce so much. Because we seem like what Nick mentioned, Lamar is starting to get injuries and stuff. And I think this was a move to try to expedite, we're trying to win now. We need to. Lamar Jackson has a very small window left of his prime, probably 2 more years, 3 years max, where he's going to be this MVP level player. We need someone who can come in and help us win on the defensive end, because offensively, we got Lamar, we got Derrick Henry, but we got to make sure our defense can hold us back up if our offense struggles. So I think Crosby, he's probably arguably the best defensive guy, that defensive end in the league.
Can I be honest with you guys? I hate this trade for Baltimore. I think this is a terrible trade. Why? Because number one, trading 2 firsts in general is crazy, especially for next year's draft, which is going to be awesome.
That I did not like. That part I did not like. I was like, damn, they got rid of the 2027 pick.
Here's another problem with Maxx Crosby nobody's mentioning. His knees might be knackered soon because of the injuries that he's been having the past few years. And look, great player. Love Maxx Crosby. Crazy tattoo work, by the way. I've seen a photo of him with all his tattoos. Whoever artist worked on him, he spent his money well. But I really think they overpaid for Maxx Crosby. I don't think he was a tremendous need for Baltimore here. And I'm sorry, I just don't see this Baltimore team going anywhere. Lamar's on the decline. They have a ton of issues offensively. And yes, the pass rushing was not great last year, but the secondary is another problem in Baltimore. They had no depth whatsoever. And I still think they overpaid for Maxx Crosby. I mean, I could be wrong. He might be one of the greatest defensive players next year, but I thought this was an overpayment and a half. I don't like the trade for the Raiders specifically because I don't trust that the Raiders are going to use those picks wisely. But I don't love it for Baltimore. To me, I sort of feel like it's a C- grade for Baltimore and a C+ grade for the Raiders.
Really? That surprised me because to me, I think it was a great move because it answers one of your biggest needs, like DJ mentioned, pass rushing.
Is it one of their biggest needs though? I feel like I think there's more bigger needs than their pass rush. They need an offensive line. That was desperate. They need no more washed up wide receivers, Baltimore. Stop with bringing in these washed up guys like Sammy Watkins, who was washed. DeAndre Hopkins was washed. Odell Beckham was washed. Devin Hester, remember back in the day they brought in Devin Hester. He was washed. Stop with all these washed up receivers. But then again, these idiots. Yeah, these idiots decided to sign Mark Andrews to a 3-year extension, which I still don't understand.
That made no sense to me.
I mean,
it's not likely.
Well, of course, I think it's likely that Isaiah is likely going to test free agency and will likely
come to the
be playing on
Commanders.
another team.
Come to the Commanders.
He will. That's an interesting option for him. I could see him go. I think he's going to go to Philadelphia because Dallas Goedert's on the outs there, and I could see if they trade AJ Brown, they use that money to sign Isaiah Likely, and I think that's likely the right.
Oh, here we go. But no, I like it. Now the gamble is if they're good next year.
Y'all killing me.
2027 pick isn't high. I think that's where it could be interesting. Where if they do have a good record next year, where that 2027 pick isn't as valuable. You know, I know the whole thing about the 2 firsts.
I just think it's an overpay. I'm like, I get why they made the move, but I just don't like it in general for Baltimore. I just think like there's a lot of cheaper options. They have so much needs, and again, I think it was too late. They made the right move in firing Harbaugh. He should have been fired after not last year, the year before after that Bills game. And to be honest, I thought it through. I kind of don't like that hire for the Giants, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Of hiring Harbaugh.
Overrated to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Do you want to know why I don't like that move for the Giants?
Let's see if we're thinking the same. What's up?
What was the Giants' #1 issue last year?
Blowing leads.
What was John Harbaugh's biggest weakness?
Yep, blowing leads.
In what quarter? In what quarter? Exactamundo.
That's because they're treating the hire like it was like a saving grace. I'm like, bro, you have the same damn problem.
Yep, except that, there's a power struggle now in that executive branch, and your owner is in the files. Well, one of your owners, but... Shit. And can I ask a question, too? Another question I gotta ask. Yeah, can I ask a question? Why is Joe Schoen still here?
He gotta have blackmail or something, bro.
Yeah,
he gotta have to put a blackmail on somebody.
Probably, but why you take away his power to sign guys because the communication of the coach and the GM, the coach Harbaugh has his own power to report to. I forgot what her name is. One of the vice. I forgot what her name is. He reports to her. Shane can't choose who he signs. Shane is just there to scout guys. He's basically what Mike Mayock was with the Vegas Raiders when John Gruden was the head coach. That's basically what Joe Schoen is. And he's not a good scouting guy either, to be and he's not a good scouting guy either, to be honest with you, because Shane his drafting not good. And the only reason why they got Jackson Dart was because that was pushed by Dable, not by Shane. Exactly. And I think the biggest mistake that franchise made was doing that Hard Knocks off season. Because that exposed Joe Schoen.
Yes. I agree. Should have got fired after that.
So, yeah, why is he still here again?
I mean, as a Commanders fan, I'm glad he's still there.
Well, that is true. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't like that move for the Giants. But going to Baltimore, the Crosby stuff, I can't with him.
Yeah.
I don't believe in him.
Last year, even though he had injuries last year, he's still very effective. But yeah, having that knackered knee, especially in football, that's a sport you don't want to hear that. Knee issues scare me.
And the Cowboys try to get him. They want to give up first and a second, but the Raiders
Cowboys were going to go after him. They were going to go after him.
First and a second, ready to reportedly. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of probably a blessing in disguise for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
See.
Not only that,
the Cowboys too. They didn't get him. So.
Well, the Cowboy. I don't know what's going on with the Pickens stuff. I know he's tagged. They got to work because good old Jerry Boy loves his stars. I mean, he's got one put in the middle of the arena, but he's gonna overpay for him. But I don't know what to think of that whole NFC East division, but it's rough. I'll conclude with the Maxx Crosby stuff. Listen, I hope I'm wrong because I love Maxx Crosby. He's one of the only good parts of that Raiders team in the Gruden era. He's one of their best draft picks. Him or Josh Jacobs. Everybody else is terrible there.
True.
But I don't trust this franchise at all to use the picks well. And here's another thing I love as well. Remember how the media especially in ESPN, basically goes out there and is like, oh, Tom Brady needs to be used more. He needs to get more involved with all these Raider decisions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Why was Chip Kelly here? Tom Brady. Why was Pete Carroll here? Tom Brady. Why is Alex Guerrero his yes man here that ran Maxx Crosby out of here?
Oh, God.
Yes. John Spytek is here. Why? Because he's buddy-buddy with Tom Brady in New England.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that worked out so well copying New England when, you know, the Josh McSnake oil era was here. That dude's a snake. A bona fide snake. I could hear him. I could hear him like hissing or whatever a snake does when they're about to attack.
Remember that Colts situation? Remember that? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's basically every time I see the man. But I don't trust that. Brady's a terrible owner. And why is he allowed to still commentate in NFL games when he's an owner? Can someone explain this to me? Oh, that's right. It's Tom Brady. They do it for Brady. Terrible owner.
Just
and
in football, just like Michael Jordan was in basketball. It's hilarious.
Well, Michael, don't even get me started on that. Don't do that. And by the way, Michael Jordan's a terrible owner of his racing like teams and NASCAR and all that. I know you know nothing about it, but he almost ran his teams out of NASCAR with a lawsuit he filed.
Yeah, I heard about the lawsuit. I did hear about that.
He almost ran his teams out of there. It's really the drivers that are carrying him, not Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. I don't follow NASCAR either, but I saw about the lawsuit.
Yeah, because Michael Jordan's name was attached.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, horrible owner. And, like, look, players have the ability to be owners and GMs. Star players, on the other hand, nope. The only star GM in football I can remember, I could be wrong by this. You could fact check me. You could harm me in the comments section. That's fine of me being wrong here. The only current GM that was a former player that's actually done phenomenal is John Lynch of the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
Name me another guy.
Nobody I could think of. That was my name. I was like, it surprised me because somebody else, but yeah, John Lynch was my name.
But the thing that I worry about with the Raiders, and yes, they got Kubiak, which I think that's a solid hiring, but
yeah, I like that too.
I don't know what they're. Look, you got to fix this O-line. Like drafting Mendoza is great and all. Yeah, that's a lock to happen.
Future, yeah.
Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, where do you think Mendoza's gonna go? Is he gonna drop? Is the Raiders gonna pass on him for Ty Simpson? Am I gonna create another clickbait video or article where I'm gonna say Mendoza's not going first overall and the Raiders are gonna do something different? You know, those type of people out there. But let me just say, you draft Mendoza, great. You better spend on that offensive line.
Yes,
because it's killing CJ. Right away. It's killing CJ Stroud in Houston, and it will kill Mendoza here. And even Trevor Lawrence, too, before he had, gotten out of the Urban Meyer fiasco. Oh, God, it was horrendous. And Bryce Young, too, is another name. Once they got an offensive line, they signed interior offensive guys. I think Robert Hunt was a name that's an example. Was Corbett another name? I can't remember, but they signed all these guys in the interior offensive line. Once that offensive line got beefed up and Andy Dalton had his car accident, Bryce Young played so much better.
Yep. He learned from that benching.
Yep. And get competition, Raiders. I don't care what you have to do. Like, I feel bad for – this is crazy. I feel bad for Geno Smith. I don't think it's Geno's fault because Geno had nothing. And I find it funny, too, in all these, like, team needs sites and all these like draft simulators. You know what the top like 4 position of needs or top 5 position of needs usually are for the Raiders? Center, guard, tackle, quarterback.
Yep.
Everything on the offensive line. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong because I don't want to see the Raiders be bad, like. But they are a dysfunctional. How many head coaches has this team hired and fired the past few years? I mean, John Gruden, Bisaccia, who should have kept the job, Josh McSnake Oil, Antonio Pierce, who I feel bad for. He should have gotten another year. And now Pete Carroll, who's gone. And now Clint Kubiak. You basically have had 6 head coaches tonight.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I think the Raiders are more, like, either more dysfunctional or as dysfunctional as Cleveland is. I mean, the Jets take the freaking cake. I mean, they traded their pass rusher for an interior defensive lineman in Tennessee and didn't get a single draft pick out of it. But that's why I think the Raiders are number 2 or 3 on that list.
Definitely. Well, do you guys want to get into some NBA quickly before we close out the show? I know.
Yes.
Should we talk about Tatum's return first? Or you want to talk? Nick's been buzzing, but hey, no funny, buzzing.
Well, not buzzing.
Hornets. So, Nick, you could vent about your Hornets before we close out the show.
The Charlotte Hornets are back,
the
baby.
10-seed Hornets. The 10-seed Hornets.
Hey, we got a above 500 record, so I'll take that for anything.
Well, no, you're at 500 right now.
We've had.
You're at 500.
Yeah, 32 and 32
right, as we speak. They play the Suns tonight
and
on Peacock.
When's the last time? I know exactly. When's the last time that they've gotten a 500 record at this point in the season? I can't remember. But this team's got.
Honestly.
This Hornets team should make the playoffs, and I don't care what anyone says. Even if they make the terrible play-in tournament, I want playoffs. No play. Even if we make the play-in, doesn't matter. Want playoffs. We haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. 10 years. That's hard to do in the NBA.
Your most memorable playoff moment. Your most memorable playoff moment was when Dwayne Wade had that interaction with the fan.
Purple shirt, man.
God.
Purple shirt,
don't even remind me of that. But you got to admit something. This Hornets team is, they got a ton of players. I mean, this is the best. Like, I don't wait 3 to 4 years to fully label a draft class as fantastic, but in year 1, think about for a year 1 team, this is the best Charlotte Hornets year 1 I've seen since they drafted Kemba Walker. I mean,
absolutely, I agree.
Con Knuppel should win Rookie of the Year, and he's better than Cooper Flagg in year 1. Sion James has looked really good. Kalkbrenner has looked really good. We barely hit on 1 draft pick. We may have hit on 3 draft picks this year. That's great. And so many great players on this team. I mean, I've lost track how many times LaMelo Ball has driven around like a GTA 5 character hitting people. I mean, what's the number at? 50? 80? 100?
Probably.
Nah, probably at
100. Like Chino Hills.
And here's the worst part, too. After he gets into this car wreck, he goes into another car and goes away before they finish.
He definitely toned it down a bit.
Brandon Miller special. That starting lineup has been really good. I think, was it 21-2 or something like that? That starting lineup is
correct. Good. And if LaMelo can keep his head in check, Con Knuppel plays and keeps playing this way. We'll see with Brandon Miller. I mean, he's been hit or miss. I mean, this team has depth pieces, but if we could get Steph Curry to join this team to form a big 3 finals contenders.
That could happen, bro. Just turn on 2K. Put on my team mode.
Oh, it's been done on 2K. But
for a long time.
I'm telling you, Steph Curry has said in previous interviews when he was accepting the key to Charlotte, I will play here in my career. So either you're a hypocrite, a liar, or you're telling the truth. Because his dad used to play in Charlotte.
He was being... Oh, yeah, Dell, yeah.
Point is, we need one more big piece. Because in the NBA, you only need 3 players and 2 depth pieces. Right now, we have two big 3 players and 2 depth pieces. Maybe 3 depth pieces, depending on if Brandon Miller can play well. And Moussa Dembele, when he's healthy, is a solid center player. Even though Kalkbrenner is the starter.
He played top hard-nosed defense. He began physical in that thing, man. Diabate, what?
This team, this is the most excited I've been for Charlotte in years. I want playoffs.
I'm happy for you.
I really do. This is the first time that there's hope. Really. I mean, we'll see. I mean, this is the same GM that botched the Mark Williams trade. And we're with Dalton Knecht, who's going to leave the Lakers and sign with the Hornets. I 1,000% believe that's going to happen. Wouldn't shock me at all. I mean, we'll see. I mean, hopefully, coaching doesn't matter in this league. Hopefully, Charles Lee counsels the locker room and can manage LaMelo Ball's stupidity. But, there's a lot of potential with this team. But, finally, about time, playoffs.
And Molly off the Celtics of the day. And speaking of
that
man, was a big.
I was doing. The Rick
that return, man.
The Ric Flair dance. The gift he always does when he's like dancing during matches and doing the Ric Flair strut. That was me during the Celtics game. Like, oh my God, I was doing that. I was doing that there and at the bar when I was drinking when the Olympics was going on and Team USA won. That was what I was doing in the middle of that game.
I wish I could have parlayed on some Hornets of that game. That was very impressive.
I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, blowing out the whoa.
This is a team to look out for. And the thing that's interesting too, and nobody's talking about this, we still have draft picks. We still have the Heat pick with the Rozier trade, the Pete Rose Betting Association alumni. We still got seconds. We still got our picks that we can use to get that third piece in Steph Curry. And once we get that third piece, I'm telling you, we are a team to look out for. I can't wait. Man. I'm so excited. Let's get some wins.
It's going to be exciting to watch them.
I want to see. I mean, the play-in is weak, man. So, like I said, the play-in, y'all could be the 7th seed. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust anybody in the play-in right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, even the Heat. You know what I mean?
I'm taking them over the Heat. I'm taking them over the Hawks.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
What? Easily.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I agree. But
what did you guys think of Jayson Tatum's return, man? Out coming back from a torn Achilles,
too early.
Under a year.
Too early.
Like, just dedication.
Too early.
Yeah, I thought it was like, whoa. I'm like,
I agree with that.
He looked like he's moving gingery a little bit, but I was one thing I was looking and studying for and observing. I was like, okay, is he going to be hesitant in his movements offensively? How is he going to be sliding his feet laterally defensively? He was aggressive. They were kind of force feeding him the ball, the Celtics, early on in that Dallas Mavericks game. But there was this one play he had. I was like, oh yeah, he's not looking very hesitant. He had this in and out hezzy going to the rim. He missed the dunk. I was like, I did not expect him to be doing that early. And then he finally had a put back dunk, and he came down on his left leg. So I was like, oh, he's probably still fully not there. It's going to take him time to really get back his endurance and feel for the game. But then he started getting going. Once he had that put back dunk, you started seeing that classic vintage Tatum. He was doing the step back threes, the fadeaways, midi jumpers. I don't know. I think this adds another element to the Celtics this year because what we thought was going to be a gap year, man, they've been my biggest surprise this year. Nobody expected the Celtics to be number 2 in the East this year.
Yeah, nobody expected Boston
or 6th. Yeah, I did not expect them to be this good, and that's why I think
to be honest,
Tatum to wanting to eventually come back.
To be honest, even with Tatum back, it doesn't really matter because Oklahoma City is going to win the entire thing. Like it really is Oklahoma City versus the whole world at this point. I mean, maybe you could throw in the Spurs and maybe the Knicks, even though like I'm not so sure about the Knicks, to be honest with you. And I don't think
if anybody out wins.
Yeah, to me the West is winning the title.
Yeah, correct. And another problem with the Knicks too is that and the thing with the Knicks too is I still don't understand why they thought it was a good idea firing one of the rare good coaches in the NBA and Tom Thibodeau. And then you hire Mike Brown to coach and counsel the locker room. And what was he known for in his previous coaching tenure? Who did he coach previously?
Kings.
The Sacramento Kings. Yeah. That's a great counselor for you to hire from, oh my God, that franchise is the definition of a train wreck.
Like, they're the equivalent probably of the New York Jets. They're probably the New York Jets of the NBA.
No.
So Mike Brown kind of reminds me of how you see Salah, bro. Great assistant coach, but head coach is just not really working.
Who?
I'm saying Mike Brown. How you see Robert Salah? It's kind of how I'm seeing Mike Brown.
You do realize
coach, but
you do realize coaching doesn't matter in this league, right?
Okay, all right, man. Stop.
Like you could legit, you could put a middle school or elementary school counselor in that role and nothing changes. That's how much of a player-driven league it's been. You just need someone to counsel the locker room to ensure no fights happen and, calm them down on the sidelines.
If coaching didn't matter, then Mike Brown would be just as good as
if coaching matters in this league,
definitely better.
If coaching matters in this league, why does Doc Rivers have a job right now? Why does JJ Redick have a job right now? Oh, that's right. They're buddy with LeBron. But point is, there's too many, it's a player-driven league. And that's one of my main gripes about the NBA.
Yeah.
You cutting out.
Nick.
I am?
Yeah, Nick.
Come on.
Yeah, Nick's cutting out, I think.
I can tell you why coaching matters. Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla is a big reason why this other.
Yeah, but the difference is he's a rare good coach. There's rare good coaches in the NBA.
He's a good coach.
Rare.
It still matters.
Rare.
Yeah,
but it's a player-driven league.
It matters to get a very good coach.
Well, it's a player-driven league. You got to make sure that the locker room is all counseled. Like, you only need 3 players, 2 depth pieces, you're good.
Yeah, I agree, but, like, still, those regular coaches, those are the ones that win championships.
Well, counselors.
Definitely.
That's my
they
point.
counsel the locker room. No, it doesn't. Not in the NBA.
It's going to be exciting.
What?
I will say one thing, though, about NBA coaching, and you'll agree with me on this. Coaching compared to when it was Warriors Cavs all those years for the 4 straight years, nowadays it's a lot better than it was at that time because 85% of the league was tanking and counselors were just going there crazy. I mean, compared now, coaching is slightly better, but compared to the big 4 leagues, it doesn't matter. Like you need NHL, you need a coach. NFL coaching matters. Baseball coaching matters. Here, not as much. Like I think college coaches are better than NBA coaches, in my opinion, in basketball.
Definitely more. I would say more important. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for building a program.
I hope that changes too, because I don't like that's one of my major gripes about the NBA is how bad the coachings have been. So yeah, I'm picking the Thunder.
Yeah, a lot of coaches don't have a voice. I mean, like look at a lot of the bad teams. I mean, you think the coach of the Wizards has a voice right now? Coach of the Pelicans, like Will Hardy on the Jazz. Like, who the hell has a voice right now on those type of teams?
The players.
That's the problem to your point about coaching as well.
Well, because it's a player-driven league. That's the major problem. It's too much of a player-driven league.
No.
And
definitely. But
you need a big 3, and I don't think they have the big 3 there yet. I don't think they have the big 3 in Utah.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Oh, hell no. Utah? No.
They got a big one.
Utah's rebuilding.
Walker Kessler.
They got Keontae George, Laurie Marketing, and they need another piece.
Marketing's not that great. I wouldn't call him a big 3 player.
They got work to do.
I think he's a number 3 on a winning team. Number 3.
I think he's more of a number 1 depth piece or number 4 piece. I just don't see him as a big 3.
Okay.
But yeah, Sacramento's a train wreck. The Pelicans are a train wreck. I mean, the
Pelicans are the Cleveland Browns of the NBA.
Yeah,
Pelicans
they are.
Cleveland Browns.
To be honest,
bro.
Zion is a tremendous bust. I don't care if he's basically Marvin Williams, but he's heavier, and he had a train wreck girlfriend. If you get where I'm going here.
Bust. Disappointment, but I'm not gonna say.
I think he's a bust with all the hype he came into the league with. I think he's a bust.
He's still a productive player.
He's a good player. He is, but with all the hype he came in.
I see your point though about the hype. Absolutely,
disappointment.
He thought he was supposed to be facing the league. Him and
him.
Yeah.
Well, John Morant, he shot his. He shot himself plenty of times with his potential.
Here we go.
No, I'm being serious. He shot himself way too many times with not only the gun fiasco, but his attitude, his ego, the whole Dylan Brooks stuff. Who, oh, by the way, just got arrested for a DUI.
I did hear that.
Cut him tomorrow, by the way.
No, he's been balling and healthy.
Yeah, but
they're not gonna cut him.
Yeah, but when I hate people who get DUI, you know me. If it was me in charge,
Yeah,
if there's a
DUI,
player,
that is horrible.
it's either
Yeah,
you
that's
go to
horrible.
rehab or guess what? Goodbye. See you out the door. No excuses to how much you're being paid. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. You can't be doing that.
But
I respect that.
But hey, with the Pelicans, at least they have their first round pick to maybe build that team up if they win the lottery. Oh wait, they don't have that either.
I'm like, you know damn well.
Hey, the
historical
Queen.
draft too. What
I will say one thing though. Their Queen has been getting better. But come on, you don't trade a first round pick just to move up a few spots for their Queen. You don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't see Queen as a big three player yet.
Away for a young Shaq or something. Yeah, you're not trading away for a LeBron.
Yeah, it got to be a superstar. Yeah,
or Wemby or Luka level player. Like,
come on, man.
Like a prospect that falls or something. Yeah.
And the player they draft, whoever team the Hawks have their pick, draft in 2026 might end up being better than Derek Queen. So,
correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that depends because, like, I heard 2 players might not declare this year and stay in college. From what
that is cap.
They say that. Don't believe them. Don't believe them. We'll see when
I know, but like
I'll believe it when it happens. Super Fly said the same thing last year.
Zion
said it too when he was at Duke.
Yeah. I mean,
they always say that. That's a PR. It's a PR answer. They have agents. Remember that.
I heard Caleb Wilson might be staying in college too with his injury.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean,
Peterson. I mean, we'll
he's
see.
a little bit older than the other two. He was born 06, so he'll be 20 already. So I don't know. If I'm him, I'm coming out. You're a guaranteed top 5 pick.
Yeah, too much money on line.
Boozer has to be the favorite to be the first overall pick, right?
Nah, he's not. He's third.
I think it's the Bonsa.
Personally, the Bonsa and Peterson.
I think the Bonsa.
Yeah. You know who I like in this class you know who I like in this class, even though he has a bit of like an offensive rebounding issue and a turnover problem. I kind of like this Mikal Brown from Louisville.
He's very talented. I know why, because he gives you Steph Curry vibes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Come to Charlotte, baby. Come to Charlotte.
You guys
no, but on a serious note, enough of the games for now. He is a very talented player, and I really like. He also plays the most important position in the game in point guard. You need point guards to succeed in this league. Why? Because look at what the Phoenix Suns were when they had like Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and all those guys. They had they had a big 3, yeah, but the problem was they didn't have one of those big 3 at point guard. And they also
right now,
and they don't have a depth. They don't have any depth except for like center. Yeah. Don't they have like 7 centers on the roster right now or something like that?
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah. But all right, fellas, it's been a great episode. Tell people where they can find your work, man.
Yes, sir. Philip Wilson, you can find me on Instagram, Philwell24. Find me Wilson Way Sports Network. That's my blog site. Wilson Way Sports Talk on YouTube. Check me out on all those platforms.
Nick. Oh, it's my turn. Sorry. You could.
I went first this time. I didn't wait, guys.
You can find me on X, Facebook, LinkedIn. Just type in my name. I normally write on Total Apex Sports. I'm starting my own podcast for pro wrestling. So if you guys want to come and watch, we're on YouTube. We go live on Thursdays at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. So. If you want to see me talk about wrestling, maybe see me do an elbow drop. I don't know. We haven't gotten to that part yet. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can check me out there.
Oh, that's what's up. Who you do the pro wrestling podcast with?
Total Apex Wrestling.
Oh, okay. No, that's what's up.
That's the title of it. They gave me the ability to do that now, so I'm, talking pro wrestling on there.
You big time now.
No, I'm not a big time. I'm still a scrub, but
Oh no, you ain't a scrub.
I'm
team's a scrub. You're not a scrub.
Yeah. But he knows. Yeah. On this podcast, we can talk any sport. There's no limits.
Well, 100%. We could talk any sport except for maybe what's like the lower level sport that nobody remembers. Spike ball, if that's still a thing. Or God. Well, Spike, you've
popular
never
in
seen
other-
Spike Ball?
Nah.
Well, all you gotta do is like, it's like, go Google up Spike Ball. There's like this yellow ball. You spike it on a trampoline, and like it's big on like the Ocho on ESPN.
Oh, Lord,
But
Nice.
yeah, and by the way, DJ, with the cricket thing, I've watched that sport. You want to know what I think every time I watch that sport?
What?
Even though it's popular, all I hear is cricket noises every time I watch it. It's basically if you
Let me
combine
understand.
golf and baseball.
Good
Oh
night,
yeah,
Swan.
I'm sorry. I'll mute myself. I'll turn off my camera.
Ladies
Goodbye.
and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for another great edition of DJ Sports Show with my guys Philip Wilson and Nicholas Mullick. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and your audio platforms leave a 5-star rating. I'm your host, DJ Hamilton, DJ Sports Show, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.